Hey guys, Czar here. Hope all is well. I am watching the NASDAQ, and the reason I'm watching it, even though it's pre-market, it's pre-New York, it's 9:03 a.m., and I almost never trade during the pre-market. But what I'm seeing here is such an orderly and clean pullback from an impulse down here earlier in the UK session. So we are still in the European session, of course, and it will continue until about 11:30 a.m. And again, it's now 9:03. But whenever I see a clean setup like this, I have to watch, and I have to be open to the possibility of taking an entry, tossing the coin. Let's drop down to the 15-minute chart here very quickly. 11 minutes left there. Let's drop down to the 10. Watching. Okay, cool. I'm going to stay on the 10 here for a moment. Actually, let's drop down to the 5. Yeah, 5-minute, guys. And pulling up the 2-minute chart here now. Let's move that down to the 1. Watching the 1 minute. Here we go, guys. Here we go. 52 seconds left in the 5-minute chart. That's now over on the left-hand side, bottom left. The daily is at the top, and it's a bearish daily, and that's important to this trade idea. Short sell stop order, guys. Sell stop order on the NASDAQ right here. Even though we are less than 30, we're about 25 minutes pre-New York. I normally don't do this, but I like this configuration that we're seeing here. So I'm not in this trade. For those who are new, this is a stop sell or a sell stop order. It will only be triggered if prices pound through that and connect to that white line right there. I have very tight spreads on my platform. I use Interactive Brokers for scalping, and good executions and good spreads. So I really have to touch that line in order to get triggered. I don't typically get triggered in just from spreads like CFD. Brokers often do, from what I understand anyway. I don't trade CFDs. All right, watching now, guys. This is a 1-to-1. Risking 1R to make 1R, looking for 15 points here to drive back down to this bottom piece that you see here, which is the equivalent to the bottom of this 5-minute rally that you see here. Okay, this would be a zone reversal trade if we even get triggered in, or if I get triggered in. We'll be watching that. I'll put you on pause in the meantime, and I will bring you back. Pause. Watching now, guys. As a matter of fact, raising my stop sell. Nope, putting it back where it was, guys. I'm just dancing here with the markets. I just don't like the idea of not getting the full confirmation. I really want to see this thing flip and drive, because right now there could be several tests, and there we go, several tests of this area up here, especially in the pre-market. It can be a very tricky time to trade, and hence the reason I don't typically take trades at this time. But this one is just too clean to ignore. You see down here, bottom left. I'm really liking the look of this. Just in terms of opportunity, guys, I don't get overly attached to any particular position. I just look for optimal setups. And the reason I say why I'm overstating how much I like this, it's in light of the time of day, or in view of the time of day. Because again, I normally wouldn't even touch the market here, but this is clean enough that I'm willing to take the plunge, potentially, right? I actually like what it's doing right now too. I'll put you back on pause, bring you back. Watching this thing rejecting now for a second time. That's a nice look. The 5-minute chart is in the bottom left. I'm going to move that to a 10-minute. Let's go up to the 15 and now to the 30. You can see there how it's behaving on the 30. Still not confirmed in terms of reversing, right? Still a series of higher highs and higher lows in terms of candles, not even sequential waves or pivots. 2 seconds left in this 1-minute chart. Now, guys, sell stop right there. You see that? Not triggered yet, and now triggered. Short the NASDAQ. Give me one moment. Just going to check my own platform here. Okay, good. for 20 points now, guys. 20 points. It was 15, but because we took it higher, I'm willing to go a bit lower here on this thing. And risking 12. Risking 12. So 1.7 to 1R. There's a risk reward. Time is 9:10. Tricky going into the pre-open here, but I think I've already explained that to you in pretty good detail. I'll put you on pause now, guys. Bring you back. Just want to say too, as most of you know, I always am watching the Three Sisters. You'll see the NASDAQ. This is the one that I'm short on that little micro double top and the big resistance zone. But you'll notice that we're also at VWAP. So we approached VWAP from the underside. Now looking for that rejection down at the volume weighted average price of all transactions. The S&P has now basically tapped VWAP, and the Dow has tapped VWAP from below. And so when price approaches after impulse up from below into VWAP and begins to round over, especially if hitting key zones, which the NASDAQ is, as I showed you on the 30-minute chart. And the other two sisters are tapping VWAP as well. There is reasonable basis for a reversal. And that's not being borne out right now in the last three candles here on the 1-minute chart, but we're watching this very closely. Now, would it shock me to get stopped out on this one? No, because of the time of day. Again, I'm taking a little bit of an extra risk here, but I'm just so enamored by this clean move here. All of Europe, as a matter of fact, for the NASDAQ. Not the case on the S&P. Actually, the S&P doesn't look too terrible either. It didn't look as good on the lower time. It's the NASDAQ, the Dow, that's not looking particularly attractive to me at this point. Whereas often I would be taking the Dow instead of the NASDAQ here. Here we go. So my actual entry is, whoop, there. Shifting it over. Patience now. Talking to myself. Now beginning to drive down. The Three Sisters. There it is. This is the NASDAQ. S&P mirroring, and the Dow beginning to capitulate a little bit here. Dow's really holding up quite a bit stronger. Targeting 20 points in the NASDAQ. 9:15, guys. So we're getting close to the New York Open. I don't want to be in this trade for the Open. So I'm going to manage this thing very actively here in the next few minutes, if I'm able to stay in. Now the Dow's looking a little weaker, and the NASDAQ's looking stronger. Some of the frustrations of trading in the pre-market, and that's another reason why I typically stay out. but not always. Back on pause for now. Watching now, guys driving down, but it is 9:23, getting awfully close to the New York Open, so I'm liking the movement now. I want to see this continue, of course. Close this thing out. Tightening my stop now to above this wick. Here we go. One more push. Just need that one more push. Hopefully just before New York opens. Risking only 4.5 points now. Zone reversal trade. Patience. Getting dangerously close here, guys. 9:25, 5 minutes to. And we're done. Nice move. Thanks for joining me, guys. We'll see you a little bit later. Have an amazing week. It is Tuesday. We've got a long week ahead of us. It's going to be fun. Have a good one. Thanks for clicking the like button and for being here and for your support. Take care.